Hi everybody, this is John from Inline Tube. Today we're going to show you how to grind your tires after you've scraped them. We're getting ready to take this tire off and scrape the surface and grind it. And here's some of the tools that you'll need. Again, the wire brush, way to get the tire off, some tape, marker, tape measure. First, while this seems kind of silly, I'm going to show you how to take the wheel off because I want to show you one thing about it. If you notice, every time you take this wheel off, we have little shavings here. Hopefully you can see that. Those are aluminum shavings from the wheel and from other parts of the car. So what we want to do is we want to make sure we always brush these studs off and wire brush them, because over time those shavings will end up in the teeth or the grooves of your wheel studs, and then at some point your lug nut will lock up on that, and then you'll have a really hard time getting it off, or you'll have to break off the stud because the two metals will be bound together. So we're going to check our lug nuts. Make sure they all go on there nice and free. And that hub is good to go. After scraping the tires, you can take it to the next level and start to grind the tires. Grinding the tires opens up the pores of the tires and makes them a little sticky so they grip the track better. There's a whole bunch of ways you can do this. You can do it right on the car. You can do it on a separate tire grinder. And here's some of the tools. These are all bought at Home Depot or Harbor Freight. We've got a belt sander, we've got a grinder, we've got 80 grit sandpaper, and we have the finer, I think that's 120 grit. And then we have a bunch of different wheels, wire wheels. Everybody has a preference of how to do this, but these are the tools you're gonna need. We now have our tire mounted to our tire grinder. It's going to be spinning in this rotation. We have our belt sander from Home Depot with our 120 grit sandpaper on it, and we're going to be using water to spray down the tire. The cooler and smoother you can keep this tire, the better off you're going to be. It's going to get a little noisy here when I turn the machine on, but I'm going to talk over it. So right there, we got to spray down our tire, make sure it's nice and wet. Then we turn our belt sander on, and we start at a 45-degree angle working our way across this tire, making sure we get the edge. The tire will start grabbing when the water starts to evaporate, and that's when you'll feel that you need more water on it. The other thing I like to do is just take a normal rag, wipe over the tire. Man, you can feel the grip on that thing already. You can feel how grippy it is. It opened it up. Even though this tire is torn on this edge a little bit, this is a pretty nice sanded tire. We may have to cut this tire to get this tearing off of it to see if we can save that tire. With a close-up, now you can see how smooth that tire is. And that's a nice sanded tire. Now we're going to wrap that tire, seal in all that air, and we're going to seal in the stickiness as well. And we're going to go around this tire. Oh, I could have did a little bit more there. Okay, we're going to seal that up. And then as always, we're going to measure it. And that one measures 34 and a little over 5/8. So 34 5/8 plus, and that tire's done. We now have a brand new tire mounted on here, so I can show you the difference of doing a new tire versus an old tire. All we're trying to do is open this tire up to get it more sticky. So it's going to get a little loud here. Don't forget your water. Wipe that down and check it out. So as you can see, it has opened it up, but you can see the high and low spots in the tire. Now we can do something else here too. That was 120 grit. We can go to the 80 grit and really open this tire up. So let's do that next. So we still have the same tire on here, and we're going to try and open it up more aggressively with the 80 grit. Don't forget your water. Now you can see that we have more of an aggressive pattern on there. It feels a lot stickier, but right in the center we're still not getting it. And there's a little hot low spot there, a low spot there. But that's as good as I'm gonna go because you don't want to take too much tread off this tire. And that looks pretty good. So again, we're gonna use our shrink wrap. We'll wrap it up, we'll measure it, and then we'll put the measurement on it so it's in our trailer and we know what size it is. This is another tool some people like to use. It's got a fiber disc on it and they come in all different grits. This is a 60 grit, but it's a little bit worn out. And again, it's going to be the same process. We can work this back and forth in different angles or different shapes to get the desired tread we're looking for. So again, don't forget your water. And as you can see, the pattern changed a little bit. It now has little arcs in it. Some people like that. It's just as grippy as the belt sander, but if you already own that tool, that's a good one to use. And now you can see that tire has a little bit more bite to it. We opened up the tread, and that's going to be a nice tire to run. Now that we have this tire ground, we're going to want to make sure we shrink wrap this tire. The shrink wrap will hold in all the tackiness and it will protect our tire from being oxidized. And we're going to tear that off. And we're also going to measure this tire, which we've done prior. It's 34 1/4. We're going to take our tape. We're going to write 34 1/4 on it. $34 1/4. Now if we don't use the saran wrap, this is what will happen to your tire. it gets exposed to the oxygen, and then it gets hard again, it turns blue, and then this tire needs to be resanded before you can run it. Now we have our right front tire on here. Gonna wet it down. And with the 120 grip, gonna wipe that tire off with our rag. And you can see that it looks like a new tire again. It's nice and prepped, nice and flat. There's no low spots, no high spots. That's good to run. Don't forget to wrap it, measure it, mark it, the size, and put it in your trailer. Make sure to give our video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.
My tires are ground, ready for the racetrack.